where we'll be giving a gentle introduction to ArcGIS Online Map Viewer. To get started, let's put in arcgis.com on the address bar. It should take us to the landing page, the home page of ArcGIS Online. You can see there are various tabs in the menu. So there is overview of ArcGIS Online. There is pricing options for ArcGIS Online. There is a map tab. What map tab does is it lets you create a 2D map. The scene tab lets you create a 3D map and do things related to 3D in scene. Groups is where you maintain your group with other agencies or maybe groups within your agencies. You can add people to the group and share map with them. Content is where you would go to see all of the content that you might have published. And this is your profile tab. It's pretty much similar to how Facebook maintains your profile. You can change your image, you can switch account, you can sign out and do things like that. This is the search bar for all the layers that you might have published or all the web map that you might have shared or web map that might have been shared with you. Let's go ahead and click the map tab because this lets us create the web map. And as you can see, there is a zoom in and there is a zoom out button on the map viewer. You can zoom out to as far as you want and zoom in to as far in as you want. There is a nice home button that takes you to where you first started using the map viewer. So as you are working and as you move on to a new place of interest and want to go back to where you started, you can always press the home button. On the left, you can see details. This is where the details about your map resides. So you can see information about your map. There's a table of content. It lists all the layers that you might have on your web map, and there's a legend button that tells you the legend of the map, of the layers on the web map. And because we don't have any layers as of now, there is no legend. Next is add. This lets you add layers in your web map. You can search for layers in ArcGIS Online. You can search for layers in Living Atlas. Living Atlas is a repository that Esri maintains, and it's a vast repo of spatial data. You can also add layers from web. Any public maps or layers that are available can be added here. You can also add layers from your computer. Any local files that you might have created from ArcGIS desktop can be added here, and also can be added a CSV, a text file, and files of that nature. And you can also add map nodes. We'll be talking about this in detail in the subsequent videos, but this is just the introduction to map viewer. We'll keep it to that. Next is a base map gallery. The map that you are looking at on the screen is a topographic, but say you wanted to look at imagery, satellite imagery, this is where you would go for. And if you would like to see imagery but with boundaries and places of interest and country's name, this is where you would go. And as you zoom in, you can see that the imagery with label also has name of all the places, and you can realize that once you zoom in. This is a dark gray canvas. It has a nice black theme in it. There's also a light gray canvas base map that has a light gray theme in it, as the name suggests. There are topographic maps, there are National Geographic base map, and lastly there is OpenStreetMap. And this is particularly interesting because this is a open source map. Basically what it means is you can go into the OpenStreet website and edit the content, edit the map if you think some edits are needed. And also it's free to use, so you can use this OpenStreetMap in any way that you want. And hence it ended up on Esri's base map gallery. You would go to Save button to save your map. Once you save your map, you can rename it as you want it to. You can share the map to public, make it public for everyone to see or use, or you can also share it within your organization or group. But because we haven't saved the map, we can't share it as of now. We can print the map with the legend or without legend. We can also measure the features in the map. For example, if I want to measure the distance between San Francisco to Sacramento, I would click on San Francisco, I would click on Sacramento, and it tells me it's about 127 kilometers. You can do a very good job of measuring it if you zoom in and do it with higher accuracy. You can also measure area, the same concept. You can make a bounding polygon and it tells you the area, and you can always change the unit to whatever unit you might be working on. There is a tab that lets you know the coordinates of the point that you are interested in, lat and long, and again you have options to what unit you might want to see the coordinates. Very helpful tool. You can also bookmark your map. So say you were working on Mexico, for example, and you would come back to Mexico again and again. You would go to bookmarks and you would add a bookmark, call it Mexico, leave it at that, and start working somewhere in, for example, Asia. As you start working on Asia, you realize you need to go back to Mexico. You don't have to pan in and search for it, but just go to bookmarks and go to Mexico, and the maps will take you to where you have bookmarked the map. There is a address search bar, and this is very helpful. Say you wanted to go to San Francisco. It shows up here, click on San Francisco, it takes you right to San Francisco. And it's not only about street, you can type in any addresses and it should take you to that place right away. Now this works pretty good with street addresses also. Say you wanted to search 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Here I have already been given the option. I can click on it and look at this. We are already in the White House. And if you want to see imagery, you could go to imagery with labels, and it says it's all the names that you are looking at. And if you wanted to create a new map, be done with this map, just go to new map and create a new one. With that, we'll be moving on to next video where we'll be talking about how to add layers in web map and do other things with it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.